You're listening to KCYP 97.7 The City. This is Scarlet Rose, and you're now listening to RGV Rocks. This is KCYP 97.7 FMLP The City. This is Scarlet Rose, along with my co-host,
Rock and Rudy.
And welcome to RGV Rocks KCYP 97.7 FMLP The City. It's a nonprofit organization that promotes local artists such as myself and is the home of indie music. We are now accepting donations to our website, www.thecity977.com, as well as sponsorships to keep this radio station thriving. For more information on paying donations, sponsorships, or business advertisement, feel free to contact Joe Martinez at 956-789-0702 or by email at martinezjoe@hotmail.com. I will be leaving those links in the donation below if you guys are interested. Also, if you guys want to become a sponsor of our show, we are in desperate need of sponsorships. So please feel free to sponsor our show because you are going to help us out, get more Valley talent along the way. And it's just an incredible perk just to be our sponsor for the show. But without further ado, to the people that don't know who we are, what do we do? RGV Rocks is a radio show and now an online podcast dedicated to local talent events and all the wonderful people in the RGV, such as you and I. Rudy, do you want to give a very special welcome to our very special guest for today?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much, Scarlet Rose. So, ladies and gentlemen, 97.7 FM, the city, RGV Rocks listeners and watchers and watching us right now, I want to introduce a supermodel, famous, an actress, the one and only from McAllen, Texas, Miss Mitzi Venus. How you doing, Mitzi? Woo!
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm doing very good, and y'all?
Well, we love seeing you. I mean, I love your link. I was following, some of your bios and stuff like that. You have got some amazing pictures in there. And of course, you've done some amazing work around the RGV as well. What is your motivation? What gets you going? What is it that makes you get up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm going to look beautifuler today than what I did yesterday?
I like to consider myself as an artist, and just the thought of making art, it's what really makes me motivated. I like being able to, whether it's acting, whether it's modeling, whether it's painting or whatever form of it, being creative with it, creating such a piece, it's just amazing for me.
Wow, that is too cool. That is too cool. So every night when you go to bed, you always say tomorrow's going to be a better day, right?
Yes, exactly. I always tell myself for each month and each week and each day, I always say things that I'm very grateful for. I'm always coming up with new ideas. Oh my goodness, my Instagram page is full of just other photographers, people's photo shoots and such. And it's just so inspiring with that. I'm always telling my partner who's a photographer, and I'm always telling like, we need to do something like this or inspired. And it's so fun just to have all this inspiration. It's all these ideas I want to do.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, let's get the show started, right, Miss Scarlet Rose?
Yes, since you are a first-time interviewee on our show, we usually have a very special question that we like to ask all our interviewees that like to go on the show, and that is, what do you like about the RGV and why?
Ooh, what do I love about the RGV? Well, one, I like just the way we are, just the way we're very interesting people, the way we hype each other up, our own dialect, the way we just react to things. I think it's just so funny, but so amazing, because anywhere, the pride that we have, even if we are like, oh man, I want to leave the Valley, but you go somewhere else, oh, I'm from the Valley, go to a 956, like, back in the Valley, you guys wouldn't understand. Like, I just love that. Oh my goodness, it's just so funny, but I just like that sense of home, coming back, seeing the palm trees, the heat, and just the vibe that we have here, whether, people our age, the younger generation, and, the older generation. It's just pretty interesting.
That is especially true because, my gosh, I moved again because of school, But up here, it's like whenever I meet people that are from the valley, yes, it's true that we have some sort of pride because they wouldn't understand. Like when people ask about the valley, they're like, "Oh, what's that?" It's like, "Oh, it's a Puro 956. It's the South Texas. It's all this and much more, especially within the culture." And I think that's essential to like part of like the reason why we even started the show as well, because it's just to showcase this different kind of vibe from like everybody, especially artists, local talent here in the valley, and it's a whole different feel for what the RGV really is.
Yes, exactly. And I that's just what makes it so amazing. It's just the pride that we have and that instant connection when we are like somewhere else and like, oh yeah, I've been to McAllen. Oh, so you know how it is. You know, my favorite thing is when new people move into the valley, it's like, but why here? And then after a while, it's like, well, do you like it though? Do you like it? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? You know, Raspa, do you know what Piccadilly is? Do you know hot Cheetos and cheese? Or even just them being in Texas, you know what a Frito pie is. It's just so funny, but I love it. I love it. How we're so
Yes, I
welcoming.
completely agree. Oh my gosh. Because, like, the other thing about the Valley that I really like is that a lot of, because of the culture specifically, a lot of new places are coming up because of the fact that we thrive off of this culture. And I think it's like a lot of new venues that are coming in. I think McAllen, Weslaco, Brownsville, like all these areas. And then recently I saw, what's it called? A taco, was it a taco restaurant or a taco stand, something like that in New York, and it was catering from the RGV. I
Yes, yes, I
saw
heard about
that and
that.
I was like, oh my gosh, now we're even in New York.
Yes, or I like, who was it? I think it's Gabriel de la Cruz, or there's a guy on Facebook who goes around, puts 956 stickers in New York, or whenever he goes somewhere and he sees 956, he takes a picture and he's like, somebody was here representing. It's like,
Oh,
yes, I love that. I thrive on that.
speaking of stickers, I don't want to put a sponsor here or there, but one of our artists that we recently interviewed a while back on season 4, because this is like the end of season 4 already. But like, if you go back to our interviews, we interviewed Italia 182, and she has stickers in her shop, and I have like one sticker that says Puro 956 on my guitar case. I just wanted to throw that out because like there is a lot of like people just making stickers of just like 4956, the Valley, all of this stuff. Like it's amazing. And speaking of merch, if you guys are interested, we have a merch tier on our Patreon. So be sure to click the link in the description below if you guys are interested in that.
All right, guys, just so y'all can know, RGB listeners, you guys listening to RGB Rocks right now, we're talking to a Puro Valley girls right now, as you can see. Look at that, just going back and forth about the valley, the valley, the valley. But let's get back to Mitzi Venus. Let's see what's going on, Mitzi. Any, well, I know you do Let's Get Creative RGB, right? Talk to me about that. Tell me about that awesome events that you all have going on.
Yes, so Let's Stay Creative, that was created and funded by my friend Audrey Barrera. She's a photographer here in the RGV. And she decided, you know what, I just want to meet local photographers. And with that, she started to add models, or she had the whole model photographers meet up just to create themes. And I started going, maybe fall of 2020. It was a very big deal for me because I'm very socially, I get very bad social anxiety. So going over there, I remember just saying hi to her. I'm like, hi, sitting down and telling myself, okay, introduce yourself, let's make friends. And well, I didn't really do that, but I did work with other photographers. But I kept going and going, and slowly but surely, I started to like, you know, meet more people, be more open. And after a while, though, there was a time where she did take a pause, and then she came back and she was asking, you know, if anybody would be interested. And at that time, we already formed a friendship, and I was like, hey, can I help you with this? Like, I would really, really want to help you. Like, I don't want any payment really. I just really want to help you.
Mhm.
And so, and be involved with just this community. And ever since then, maybe like in the spring, actually, um, it's just been amazing. A lot more people have started to come, a lot more models, which is amazing because sometimes in meetups, it's less models and more photographers.
Mhm.
But ever since the spring, we've been having more models and like not so much photographers. It's like, oh my goodness. But we make do, and a lot of the photographers who do go, they're just like, oh, well, we're just so happy to meet others. Photographers help the beginners. The ones who are more advanced, they tend to help the beginners, give them tips, or just not just tips, but just like this help with them with their businesses as well, like what to do. And the models, like for me, when I new models come and they're like beginners or they're just starting out, you know, I just tell them like, hey, it's okay, you know, just go with whatever you feel is right to you, you know, go with your outfit. If there's a spot, like, you know, just go with the flow. There is no right way, there's no right or wrong way. It's just go with whatever you think you feel. Just don't think about it, just do it. And I'll give them some like posing tips as well, like maybe do this, or you know, what do you feel comfortable? And it's just so nice to see them, the newcomers, just blossom and get out of their shell. And then when I see them at the next meetup, it's like, yes, it's so amazing. Photographers and models, it's just so amazing to see them feel good about themselves and like, you know what, I'm gonna conquer the world. It's like, yes, you do that. You got this.
I mean, that's very humbling right there, to tell you the truth, because you're letting people know exactly, what it is that it takes to do what they do, and especially yourself. You are a model, an actress, of course, and you already know most of the roles and stuff, and you know what it takes to get there, and very hard working, of course. And if you're donating your time like that, that is especially awesome. You got a great big heart to do things like that. Let me tell you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, like it's fun. And but yeah, I just been so grateful just to go into Let's Stay Creative, because if it wasn't for that, I mean, oh, my confidence and meeting people, connecting, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And so shout out to Audrey. Thank you so much for just starting this amazing organization, because it's really helpful. I know that many people can stand by those meetups, and it's just amazing.
Nice. All right. Good. Scarlet Rose.
I wanted to ask about this really quick because I know that you mentioned having models pose in a specific way, because I know not many people know about this, but you are a photo shoot coordinator, but as well as you are a published model. What inspired you to start doing these types of things?
What inspired me? I mean, I think about, how it is to like want to do something but not knowing where to look.
Mhm.
And I want things to be accessible to other photographers and models. And so I guess it's also just like, you know what, I want to do this. I want to make sure everybody else can experience this too. So with our themes, we had our first spring theme was like a cottage core picnic type of thing. We reached out to other businesses, and we were telling people, hey, this is a good way to work with these setups and work with these local businesses. And if you ever wanted to do a cottage core photo shoot, come over here. This is your chance to like experience it. It's just, I guess the inspiration is just, I tend to do things what I would want, and give it to other people, because I know that other people want to have that experience, want to have that chance.
Wow, nice. So it's basically share the wealth.
Yeah. I've always been like that. I always stuck by treat others the way you want to be treated, help others the way you want it to be helped, because I think we all been there where it's like nobody's really helping me, or at least guiding me in somewhat, and it's not that greatest thing. So I try to just help. If people reach out like, Mitzi, how to get started, like this is what I did, and you can reach out to this person, and the rest, the rest is up to you. But if you ever need other guidance, just I'll try to steer you, because you know, the way I did is not going to be exactly the way for them, but I mean, here's exactly, you know, what you can do, some steps, but you know.
Well, like what my good friend Rock and Roll James told us one time, there's plenty for everybody. Share it.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
And when did you start doing all these things? Like, did you start doing this like at a young age, or did you ever think about that you were gonna do this someday at some point?
Modeling, no. Modeling was never in the picture. In middle school, I was bullied a lot for my nose. So for like the longest time, I thought I wasn't pretty. I was just so beating into me that I was like, I'm not pretty. I didn't want to come out in pictures. I didn't know how to smile. I didn't like it. I would be in pictures like with friends, goofy, but that was just too for me. But I would never really post up pictures on the internet unless, you know, I thought I looked okay. But no. But for the acting, yes. For ever since I was a kid, I would always tell people, I'm gonna be famous. I'm gonna be a famous actress. Just wait, just wait. I'm gonna be in Hollywood. I'm gonna have fans. I'm gonna win an Oscar. Like, but I didn't start modeling till actually like late 2019. I was going through my weight loss. So when I got into college and into a relationship, I had gained like so much weight, and then I finally put my foot down and told myself, you know what, let's do this. Let's work out and let's go back to how, you know, let's reach your goal, what you want. And so with that gave me the confidence, and um, I started I started doing more artistic modeling before fashion. So X-rated type of stuff, not OnlyFans, but just artistic like. And so from there, other photographers were like, "Oh, hey Mitzi, you know what? Can you pose for me? But can you wear like academia type outfit, or can you wear this gown or whatever?" And then it started to regular fashion, and then to like editorials. It's like, okay, yes, this is what I want. This is exactly. And the confidence grew when more people just started telling me like, oh, we like your features, we like the nose, we like your high cheekbones, like it's great. And that meant a lot to me. And I guess with that confidence, and then finally realizing myself, like, you know what, you are beautiful. Doesn't matter what other people say, but you are. I think that's when I was like, okay, you know what, I can do this. I can totally go out and model now.
There you go. It's the confidence within you that makes you beautiful. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. So I believe that you're very high spirited, you're very big hearted. And I also believe that yes, you've got a lot of confidence and you're very, very, very beautiful though. So don't take that as somebody to tell you you're not beautiful enough. Nah, you know what? I make more money than you. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, I tend to like roll my eyes or somebody says something. It's like, you know what, you have your own insecurities, that's on you, but don't try to bring me down, because you know what, I know that I'm pretty amazing and that's all that matters. And I already have somebody who loves me. So your whatever you have to say, it don't matter to me.
If anything, the negative stuff makes you better.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yes.
Going into your acting career, you've done a couple of projects. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes. So I've come out in two feature films, but as like not really important characters, I guess, like background type of things for Joshua Kennedy for the GUI film productions, GUI Films Productions. But then he hired me again. I got casted for another movie called Mantipus, and this other one called Isma. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I'm starring in those two movies. I'm one of the main cast, so that was very fun. That got me very excited. I thank him for giving me that opportunity. But I'm really excited for those. They're monster-like movies, kind of like old film in the
Ooh.
50s, 60s. So he likes that type of a film. He's very creative. It's really interesting. Recently I was in a very short film called Over. That was a very dramatic film. It was about a breakup. But it was very nice. Shout out to Pete, Manny, and Elias. I keep forgetting how to say his name. But we just came out. We're ranked 3 out of top 10 most watched film for this not tournament, this contest that the director placed us into.
Oh
So we're very excited. We're like, yes, congratulations to everyone.
Well, congratulations to you too.
Yes, thank you. We're very excited, and we're hoping he wants to make it bigger. And so I hope we can, so we can do more with the stories. But yeah, and then again, I was also just asked to participate in the South Texas Film Contest for the 48-hour challenge. So I'm not sure what's the planning, but I'm really excited just to be a part of it and, put myself more out there with the acting.
yeah.
Well, I tell you what else you could be part of too if you're interested. We have a thing
God, I
going
just
on.
remember why he's gonna bring this up.
It's a movie that I'm trying to make I'm creating as we go along. And I've been talking about this for a couple of months now. And it's going to be called Radio Man and Radio Girl, Saving Your Radio, one radio at a time. And we're thinking about making a movie. Alcina Ray is going to be where we're going to show it and stuff like that. So I've already got some people with the cameras, and I might need some extra actors too. So I might be getting a hold of you there, Miss Venus.
Yes, I would love to work with you. That'd be fun.
Oh my gosh.
And the bad guy's going to be Jake. We talked about that too. So
That's so funny because canonically in the universe that he does his music, and then also in VNBN he's a villain too. So that's funny. But what's it called? I have one more question before we end this interview because we are short on time. But I would have to ask you, did you ever have any like complications or even like situations that you had during like photo shoot? Has it been hard or is it pretty easy to do?
Well, what's kind of hard is setting up photo shoots. Sometimes photographers do reach out to me. I've had a lot where they're like, I want to work with you, Mitzi. I want to work with you. And it's like, cool. I get really excited because I love doing shoots. I love being creative. I love coming up with concepts and then putting things together. But then a lot of them do flake out or they don't respond, or it's just like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess I was really looking forward, and I like to think of myself sometimes as like a dog, like, oh yes, and then when does it happen? Like, what happened? What? I get confused, and it does hurt my feelings sometimes, but I try not to take it personally. But that kind of stings. Another would be sometimes the weather.
Oh my
The
god.
weather plays a big factor. I could be wearing a nice, beautiful gown, but oh my goodness, it's just so hot. My hair is turning flat. It's like, okay. Another one was sometimes now I don't put makeup on really, just for eyeliner, for my eyebrows and lipstick, but for a while I did put on makeup, and because of that I had very bad breakouts.
Oh my gosh.
And it was really, really bad that it started to affect my self-esteem. And so I have like a little bit of like trauma when it comes to putting on makeup. I get very bad like anxiety, like, oh my God, I'm gonna get bad acne again. I have very sensitive skin, but now it's like, okay, like I'll put just a little bit on if I need to, if they ask for it. But most of the time I try not to put foundation or blush or anything like that, because it's just I don't like that. And then of course another one would be the positions, trying to come up with different poses. Oh God, some poses, you wouldn't believe it, but I do get sore. My back, my lower back, my arms, I get very sore. The next day I need to have a rest day because my body does ache. And it could be like just a little, I mean, it's worth it, but it can be a little hassle, like, oh, snap. So my partner will usually like, oh, just, stay put, be in the bed. He'll massage me. I'm like, thank you so much. My feet, especially with the heels, sometimes hurt a lot. Most of the time I do have to sit down. Um, Oof, it could be it could be painful sometimes, but in the end though, when I see the final product of it, it's like, you know what, it was worth it. It was worth every little bit of it. But yeah, just some of those, just little small complications. But I mean, I like to tough it out. I'm very stubborn. I'm very stubborn.
No pay, no gain.
Yes, exactly. Anything to get the perfect shot. I'll stay at the same position for a whole minute if I have to.
Well, that's good. I mean, like you said, you're very stubborn. So that means you're persistent. You want to make sure the thing is done right. If you don't feel comfortable, we're doing this again.
It's like, I'm hurting, you're hurting, we're all hurting. Let's just get this over with. We need to do what we need to do.
Yeah,
Stop the
like
hurting.
yeah. I went to Chicago during the winter actually, and I knew it was gonna be cold, but I did not expect to be like very cold. And two of my shoots that I did, I had to get wet. And so having my hair wet and everything, and then going outside and still shivering, it would be cold inside the apartment, and then and the studio, and then going outside in like 20 degrees. And then one time one of the photographers I worked with, she's amazing, but she dressed me up in very thin fabric and a long skirt, a nice long fluffy skirt. But it was so painful because it was windy and super cold, and I only had that thin layer of of a long sleeve shirt to keep me warm. So during the photo shoot, I tried my best to not like start showing that I was super cold, start like having my mouth how do you say?
Shiver.
Yeah, shivering. Start not shivering. But in the few moments, she's like, okay, I need to like get a different lens. My partner would come and put my jacket on me. I would have my mittens. I was super cold. And I would, after those photo shoots, I'd go straight back to where we were living. And I told him like, I can't, I'm so drained. I am so drained. I need to stay. I need to take a nap. Oh my goodness. But those pictures came out amazing though. But such conditions though, it can be very tiresome, very
Oh
tiresome.
my gosh. I hope you don't have to do that again, because oh my gosh, that sounds so tiring.
Yes.
Especially if you go to Chicago, Illinois, man, you're like 20 below zero, 30 below zero over there. One time, me and my grandma, when she was still alive, we went to Chicago, or actually Illinois, to go visit some family in Waukegan. And as we were flying, get ready to get in, the captain comes on the mic and says, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be about a 35 to 40-minute delay while they're de-icing the runway. Mind you, de-icing the runway, and you're in a plane about to come in. Oh, heck no. You know what I mean? I told my grandma, this is going to be the last time we come over here, grandma.
Yes, it was very miserable, at least for me. My partner had no problem whatsoever. He loved it. But for me, I had like three layers of two long sleeves and a regular shirt, and then a sweater, and then my big coat. Many layerings in the bottoms, under my jeans, and like thermal socks. Like I wanted to be warm. Even then, I was still really cold. So after a while, I told him like, okay, I'm with the planned shoots that I had. I'm like, okay, no more. I'm done. I need a break. And I was like, no more getting anywhere near water or having water on me. Even coming back to the valley, though, I had a photographer reach out, like, let's do a shoot at the beach. I'm like, even though it's like in the 60s, like I still get freezing cold. I always carry a jacket. I'm always wearing a jacket. And I told her, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I really want to do this, but not until it gets warmer because I know I'm going to be miserable and I can't push through it. Like, my body cannot handle it.
So, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, let's just say, another photographer or somebody else, such as ourselves, going to do a movie or something like that. How will we get a hold of you? Any platforms out there or anything, social media?
Yeah, so you can follow me, get a hold of me on Instagram, Mitzi Venus. I always reply to my messages. You can reply there. I have my email there as well. It should be intact. Facebook, and I mean, if you have my number, I mean, you could always contact me. But yeah, for sure, social media. Uh, Instagram's a very big one, so it's easy. Everybody has Instagram, and like I said, I usually reply within the first 10, 20 minutes. If I don't reply, it's because I'm probably busy or driving. So, but yeah, that's the easiest way to like get a hold of me.
I didn't know I had Instagram till Destiny told me, but Scarlett Rose told me, you got Instagram. What? No, I don't. Yeah, you do. That was too funny. All right. Well, as we get ready to end the show almost, Miss Scarlett Rose.
Yes. Do you have any interviews? I'm sorry. Do you have any shout outs before we leave?
Yes, actually, like again, Audrey, shout out to Audrey Barrera. She is a wonderful wedding photographer and just like, what else? She does a lot of marketing, so very good. Fidel Reyes is an amazing photographer. He is my partner, and him and I are the ones I got most published with him. So if you ever want headshots or like editorial or something artistic, or even for your business, he is the one. And I guess shout out to my friend Ramiro Gonzalez, Amy, and yeah, just all to my friends. I love you guys and my mom and dad and anybody who ever helped me. Thank you. Shout out to you guys. I love you guys very much.
Well, that is it for Mitzi Venus. Thank you so much for joining us here on our show on RGV Rocks.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Rudy, any shout outs?
Yes, I want to send out a big old shout out to Miss Mitzi Venus here. Thank you very much for agreeing to do the show with us. Very, very awesome interview with you today. Really, it was very educational and informal. And thank you for the tips on how to post and stuff, because I'm going to be doing a bunch of that later. Anyways, big old shout out to my two beautiful ladies, Joanna D and Darlene Dre, and then, of course, my handsome grandson. First day of kindergarten a couple of days ago on Tuesday. He was all excited. I love it. I love it. I love that little man. He's my world. And a big old shout out to my co-host, of course, Miss Scarlett Rose, and all the beautiful people at RGV Rocks watching us and listening to us. Thank you once again for tuning in as well, okay? Miss Scarlett Rose?
Yes, if you guys want to check us out or learn more about what we do on our show, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Facebook and Instagram is just RGV Rocks, and Twitter is Rocks RGV. Once again, Facebook and Instagram is just RGV Rocks, and Twitter is Rocks RGV. We also have a Patreon, so if you guys want to subscribe to our Patreon, we have different tiers. Different tiers kind of gives you, how we're doing like the shout outs. We usually give specific Patreon shout outs at the end if you guys are a member of our Patreon family. So go check us out. But
part of the family, so we can say hi to you.
Yes. I really want to give a huge special shout out to everyone listening to KCYP 97.7 FMLP, the city. We will see you guys next week. See ya.
Peace.